My name is Michael. I live in a small town. I work in a tiny garage. I fix cars all day. I don't have a car. I don't have savings. I don't own a house, but I have a kind heart. People trust me. They know I work hard. They come to me often. They treat me like a friend. I eat simple food, sleep in a small room, dream of a better future, but never complain. My hands are rough, my clothes are old, my shoes have holes, but I still smile. I wake up early, drink cheap coffee, open the garage door, and start the day. Some days are slow, some days are hard, but I stay patient and do my best. I don't ask for much, just peace and work. I fix engines quietly and watch the sky. One day a woman came. Her bike was broken. She looked worried. She was alone. I helped her fast, didn't charge her money. She smiled softly and said, "Thank you." Her name was Emma. She was a teacher. She taught little kids. She loved drawing. She had soft hands, a calm voice, and warm eyes. I liked her at once. She came again just to say thanks. She brought me cookies and a note with her name. We started talking, just short chats, about music and life and things we enjoy. She liked colors, she liked the rain, she laughed at my jokes, and made me feel calm. She said I was kind. She liked my smile. She liked my hands, and how I listened. I waited for her every afternoon, just for a moment, just to see her. She always came, sometimes with stories, sometimes with drawings, sometimes with tea. I started hoping, I started dreaming, I started caring, I started feeling. She brought light into my world, into my heart, into my life. We didn't go out. We didn't spend much. Just sat and talked and looked at the stars. I felt safe when she was near. I felt happy. I felt whole. She liked my garage. She liked my tools. She said it was honest, simple, and true. I liked her voice. I liked her hands. I liked her laugh and how she looked at me. After 6 months, we went to the park, ate sandwiches together, and watched the sky. She said she liked me. I said I liked her. Then we both smiled and held hands. We didn't need words. We didn't need plans. We just knew it, deep in our hearts. That day changed me, changed everything, made my world better, made me believe. I took her home, not far away, just a small room, nothing big. She looked around. She didn't judge. She said it was nice because it was real. She sat on my bed, looked at my wall, saw my old pictures, and said, "You have soul." No one said that, not to me, not before, not like that. I told her the truth. I had no money. No car, no savings, only love to give. She touched my hand, looked in my eyes, and said softly, "That's enough for me." I didn't cry, but I felt it, deep inside, something warm. I hugged her tight, didn't want to let go, didn't want to lose her ever again. 1 year later, we got married in a small garden with friends around. No big party, no big cake, just smiles and hugs and 2 happy hearts. We danced alone, under the stars. She wore a simple dress. I wore my old suit. We didn't care. It was our moment. It was our promise. It was our start. Our first year was not easy. We had little money and many problems. Bills were late, food was simple, clothes were old, but love was strong. She always said, "As long as we're together, we're rich already, we have enough." I believed her, every word, because her love was all I needed. She painted pictures, I fixed old things, we made do, we kept going. At night we talked, told stories and dreams, made plans for tomorrow and held hands. Sometimes we fought, but not for long. We always said sorry and hugged tight. She was my peace, my home, my best friend, my everything. I started working more, fixing bikes and cars, trying new things, dreaming bigger dreams. She painted at home, made little cards, sold them online, and smiled every time. We didn't have much, but we had enough to live, enough to laugh. She always said, "Simple life is good as long as it's full of love." Some nights were cold, the heater was old, we used blankets and stayed close. She would laugh, make tea, sing softly, and warm my hands. Her voice was sweet, soft like air, light like hope, warm like sun. I didn't need music. I didn't need TV. Her voice was everything. Her smile was home. I started dreaming big, saving little money, planning to grow, wanting more for us. I bought new tools, fixed the garage, painted the walls, cleaned everything. She helped me too, sweeping the floor, making lunch, painting signs. We were a team, just the two of us, building a life, one small piece at a time. Then one day I dropped a tool, my hand shook, and I felt strange. At first I ignored it, thought I was tired, needed rest, needed sleep, but it got worse. My legs felt weak. I stumbled often, couldn't stand long. She noticed fast, touched my arm, looked in my eyes and said, "We'll check." We went to the doctor, did the tests, waited days, and held hands. The results came, not easy to hear, not easy to believe, not easy to bear. He said I was sick, a nerve disease. Not deadly, but slow and hard. I sat quiet, looked down, felt cold inside, couldn't speak a word. She held me tight, kissed my head, and said, "We're still us." I said, "You didn't sign up for this. You deserve more. You can leave." She looked hurt, held my face, and said slowly, "I chose you, not your health." I cried that night, not from pain, but from love, deep and real. I stopped working, the tools got dusty, the garage was quiet, the days were long. I felt weak, felt useless, felt broken, felt afraid. But she stayed strong, woke up early, made breakfast, smiled like always. She never complained, never sighed, never said, "Why us?" She helped me dress, tied my shoes, fed me soup, kissed my hands. She told me stories, funny ones too, about her students and silly things. She made me laugh, even on bad days, even when I cried, even when I shook. She wrote notes, left them on my pillow, little hearts, soft words, deep love. One note said, "Even if you walk slow, I'll walk with you." Another one said, "Your hands are still strong because they hold my heart." She placed flowers near my bed, fresh and bright, every morning. She said, You're still you, the man I love, the man I choose, the man I stay for. I felt small but safe, felt weak but loved. I started therapy, slow exercises, painful moves, quiet progress. She came with me every time, held my hand, helped me stand. She never looked tired, though I knew she was. She never stopped caring. We laughed at silly things, spilled water, dropped spoons, forgot words. She called those tiny adventures, said life was still fun, still worth it. I watched her paint in the sunlight, soft colors, gentle hands, strong heart. She painted us sitting close, old clothes, warm smiles, full hearts. One evening I asked, "Are you tired? Are you okay?" She smiled wide, touched my cheek and said, "I'm happy with you." I couldn't stop the tears, didn't want to because they were honest. She kissed them away one by one, said, "We cry together. We heal together." We started filming just small clips of our days, of real life. She called it Our Promise, a small channel for us and for hope. We didn't ask for help, didn't want pity, just wanted truth and connection. People watched, people cared, people wrote kind words, shared their hearts. Some sent messages about love and pain, about family and care, about hope. Some said we gave strength. Some said we made them smile. Some just said thanks. We replied to all with joy and tears, feeling seen, feeling less alone. She told me once, "Your story helps people, and that's powerful." I couldn't work with tools, but I had my voice, my ideas, my knowledge. So we tried something new, online talks, helping others, giving tips. I spoke slowly but clearly, with her beside me, guiding my words. People listened, mechanics from far, young workers, small garages. They asked questions. I gave answers. She read the hard parts. I explained the rest. It felt good, felt real, felt useful again, felt right. We saved some money, not much, but enough to dream. I told her, "Let's open a new garage, one I can manage with help." She smiled big, said, "Yes, we can. We'll call it something brave, something true." We worked for months, made plans, got help, trained people, and one day we opened it with a small sign and a big heart. We called it Still Running Garage because we're still here, still trying. I wrote on the wall, "Wheels slow down, but hearts don't stop." She added flowers and a picture of us, holding hands under the stars. People came, supported us, believed in us, and stayed. And I felt proud, not of the place, but of us, of our story. The new garage grew. People kept coming. They liked the name. They liked our story. We hired helpers, young and kind. We taught them well, treated them like family. I stayed in the office, gave advice, managed the calls, watched the cameras. Emma did the books, made coffee, greeted people, smiled all day. Every morning felt new, full of purpose, full of hope, full of love. She wore a blue scarf, brought flowers, played soft music, opened the windows. The team respected her, called her boss lady, even brought her drawings. She laughed with them, shared lunch, told jokes, and listened. One worker, named Josh, was only 19, lost his parents, lived alone, needed help. We gave him a job, gave him meals, gave him care, gave him a chance. He worked hard, stayed late, learned fast, smiled again. Emma hugged him once and said, "You're not alone. You're safe here." Then one night a storm came, heavy wind, loud thunder, flashing skies. We were home, watching rain, drinking tea, holding hands. Suddenly the phone rang. It was Josh. His voice shaking. He said, "It's bad." The garage was flooded, water everywhere, things falling, power gone. We rushed outside, rain hit hard, streets were dark, cold and wild. Got to the garage, saw the mess, water on floors, tools floating. I felt helpless, stood frozen, heart racing, mind blank. Emma stepped forward, took charge, called help, gave orders. We saved the main tools, turned off power, moved boxes, helped Josh. Other workers came. In the rain, no one asked, no one stopped. They wore boots, carried things, wiped walls, pushed water. I watched them work side by side, for us, for the garage. By morning it was better. Not perfect, but safe and standing. We made tea, sat on the floor, wet and tired but smiling. Emma raised her cup, said softly, "We built more than walls." I nodded slowly, wiped my face, whispered, "We built family." We closed for a week, fixed damages, repainted signs, checked machines. Neighbors helped too, brought wood, gave money, shared food. They said, "You helped us before, now it's our turn. You're not alone." I cried again, this time from joy, from love, from community. The garage opened again, stronger than before, warmer than ever, brighter too. Josh became a lead, trained others, told his story, grew in confidence. Emma added a wall for messages. People wrote thanks, left notes. Some said, "This place saved me." Some wrote prayers, some drew hearts. Then something happened. A company visited, big one, rich one, famous name. They saw our garage, heard our story, liked our mission, offered help. They gave money, new tools, sent people, gave training. It felt like magic, like a dream, like all the hard days were worth it. But not all days were easy, not all nights were calm. Storms returned. My illness got worse, slower hands, heavier legs, harder mornings. I didn't say much, didn't want to worry, didn't want to ruin peace. But Emma noticed, as always, she always noticed. She sat beside me, touched my back, and said, "Let's talk." I looked away, felt shame, felt fear, felt weak. She said, "Weakness isn't failure, it's just truth, and truth is love." I broke down, couldn't hold it, cried like a child into her arms. We decided to slow down, take time, rest more, live soft. Emma hired a manager, young woman, smart and kind. I stayed home more, watched birds, wrote stories, recorded thoughts. She painted again, daily now, peaceful colors, full of heart. We had picnics near the lake, under trees, near the ducks. We read books, shared old photos, laughed at memories, dreamed again. She painted a big one, a road with stars, two people walking hand in hand. She said, "That's us, always walking, always shining, even in dark." We made a promise to live every day like it's the first and the last. To speak kindly, forgive fast, hug often, love deeper. We visited schools, told our story, met kids, saw their eyes shine. Emma said, "They need to hear real love, not just fairy tales." One kid asked me, "Are you a hero?" I smiled, said, "No, I'm just loved." He hugged me tight, said, "That's even better. I want that too." I looked at Emma, her eyes full of light, full of grace, full of fire. She mouthed the words, "Still us," and I nodded. That night, we sat in silence, no music, no words, just soft breathing. She leaned on my shoulder, I kissed her hand. She smiled. The stars were clear, no clouds, no wind, just calm. And I thought, this is heaven, this moment, this woman, this life. But life is life, full of turns, full of surprise, full of goodbye. One morning she didn't wake, just lay still, peaceful face, warm skin. I called her name, again and again, louder each time, with shaking hands. No answer came, just silence, just stillness, just goodbye. I screamed, I broke, I begged, I prayed. I kissed her forehead, held her close, told her everything, everything I could. The doctor came, said it was peaceful. She felt no pain. But I did. I felt every crack, every break, every storm inside me. They buried her near trees, where she painted, where she smiled. I placed her brushes, her scarf, her notes, her dreams. People came, hundreds came, all crying, all loving, all thanking. They said, "She gave us hope. She gave us love. She gave us peace." I sat alone, every night, in our room, holding her cup, reading her notes. But one night I smiled, felt warm, felt her near. I heard her whisper, not with sound, but with heart, "Still us." And I whispered back, "Always you, always me, always love." The days felt longer, the nights were colder, the silence louder, the house emptier. I stopped talking, stopped laughing, stopped singing, stopped painting. Her chair was untouched, her cup still there, her shoes waiting, her scarf folded. The garden looked lonely, the flowers faded, the birds flew, the wind whispered. I missed her voice, missed her tea, missed her touch, missed her smile. The team kept calling, Josh kept texting, neighbors knocked. I stayed quiet. I ate less, slept less, cared less, felt nothing. Only her memory kept me breathing, kept me still, kept me from falling. One morning, I walked outside, saw the trees, heard a soft sound, a soft whisper. It felt like her spirit, like her breath, like her comfort. I closed my eyes, stood still, felt her near, felt her warm. She was gone, but not gone far, but close, silent, but speaking. That day I walked far away. No plan, no phone, no goal. I followed the sky, watched clouds, counted birds, listened to the wind. Each step felt lighter, each breath slower, each minute deeper, each tear honest. I reached a hill, sat on grass, looked up, said her name. And then I cried, not quiet, not soft, but loud, broken, messy. I let it all go, all pain, all fear, all sorrow. I shouted, "Why did you go? Why now? Why me?" No answer came, only wind, only silence, only sky. But deep inside, I heard her, not words, but presence, not sound, but feeling. She said, "Live now, love now, share now, don't hide." I wiped my face, stood up, breathed deep, walked back. Something changed, not everything, but something, like a door opened. The next morning I visited the garage, quietly, slowly, with shaking hands. Josh saw me, ran fast, hugged me tight, said, "We missed you." The others followed, hugs everywhere, tears and smiles, warm and honest. They didn't ask much, didn't push, just welcomed me. I sat at her desk, touched her notes, saw her handwriting, felt her again. A small drawing was there, a house with stars, 2 chairs, 2 cups. She drew it days before the storm, before goodbye, before silence. I smiled, kissed the paper, placed it near my heart. Then I spoke, slowly at first, then stronger, clearer, realer. I told them about her dreams, her strength, her last days. I said, "She built this place, not me, not alone, but her." They listened quietly, eyes wet, hearts open, hands still. We made a wall, called it Emma's Wall, full of memories, full of color. People came, brought photos, notes, letters, flowers. Kids drew rainbows, hearts, suns, and birds. One child wrote, "Thank you for loving us, even when it hurt." The garage changed, not just in looks, but in soul, in purpose, in feeling. We added classes, free ones, for kids, for teens, for anyone. Josh taught painting, others taught repair, one taught writing, one taught music. It became more than a job, more than a place, more than a garage. One night I sat alone, candle lit, her photo beside me, music soft. I whispered stories like she was listening, like she was smiling. Then I wrote letters, one for her, one for each worker, one for myself. I called them Letters of Light, and read one each morning. I traveled too, not far, just nearby, small towns, quiet roads, open skies. I visited schools, libraries, cafes, told our story, told her story. People listened, some cried, some clapped, some hugged me. They said, "She still speaks through you, through this, through love." One boy said, "I want to be like her." Another girl said, "I want to be like you." I said, "Be like yourselves, just kind, honest, and full of heart." They smiled, nodded, hugged each other, and laughed. That's what she would have wanted. Laughter, even in pain, even in loss. I kept her brush, always, in my pocket, like a secret, like a light. Sometimes I touch it when I feel low, when I forget, when I miss. It reminds me of who I was, of who I became, of who we were. It reminds me to keep going, keep giving, keep loving. One day, a letter came, official stamp, big words, big offer. A foundation wanted to fund us, build more centers, spread our work. They said, "You inspired us. Your story touched us. Let us help." I stared at it, hands shaking, eyes full, heart racing. I said yes, not for me, not for money, but for her, for legacy, for love. We opened a second place, named it Emma's Light, in a poor town. Children ran in, laughing, jumping, learning, feeling safe. I watched from the side, quiet, proud, full of tears. Years passed, slow but full, soft but rich, hard but beautiful. I grew older, slower steps, whiter hair, gentler voice, but inside, still fire, still dreams, still love, still her. And now, as I sit here, writing this, watching stars, hearing wind, I smile, not from joy, not from sadness, but from peace. I lived, truly loved, truly gave. And I know somewhere, somehow, she's smiling too. Years passed slowly but gently, with purpose, with love. The garage stood strong, her name still there, her light still shining. Children grew, workers stayed, the spirit lived, the dream expanded. New faces came, old ones smiled, we shared stories, shared hugs. I walked slower, talked softer, needed rest, needed care. But my heart stayed big, full of warmth, full of peace. I looked at the stars every night, whispered her name, felt her near. She never left me, not really, not truly, not ever. On my last birthday, the team made a surprise, photos everywhere, candles lit. They sang for me, laughed with me, held my hand, cried with me. I said one thing, just one, with a full heart, with quiet strength. Love stays. Even when people go, love stays forever, always.